Porsche tests the new 911 lightweight turbo special edition. Now, after revealing a 2020 Porsche 911 turbo earlier this year, Porsche is prepared to expand the 992 generation with the all-new track focus 911 GT3. But it appears Porsche isn't done with the new 911 turbo quite yet. Now, the Porsche 911 has been spied by Carbuzz and other journalists, such as Motor One, and this new mysterious 911 turbo prototype lapping the Nürburgring with a prominent ducktail spoiler, replacing the standard car active rear spoiler. What exactly is Porsche cooking up here? Potentially, Porsche could be developing a new special edition 911 turbo with a ducktail spoiler, or the new spoiler could be sold as an optional accessory for all 911 turbo models. Alternatively, we could be looking at a new Porsche GT car with a 911 turbo body. A few weeks ago, Peterson Museum partnered with Bring a Trailer to advertise a build slot for a mysterious new Porsche GT car that will debut in January 2021. The car was teased under a cover, sporting its signature 911 silhouette, featuring air inlets in the rear fenders that are commonly found on the 911 turbo model. So the mystery car isn't the new 911 GTS. Crucially, the car's hiding under the sheets. Doesn't have a massive rear wing, which rules out the GT3. Now, our sources note that it also isn't the GT3 Touring, since it doesn't have the air inlets in the rear fenders. If this is the new version of the 911 turbo, it looks like a lightweight special, as the rear seats have been removed from the prototype. As you can see in this picture, there are no rear seats. They're the GT3 RS bucket seats. But it isn't clear if they would be offered in a production model. It could even have a manual gearbox from the GT3 and only be offered with the rear-wheel drive as standard. The Porsche 911 Turbo produces up to 640 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque from a 3.8-liter twin-turbo 6-cylinder boxer engine. But the special edition variant could get a power boost. This mystery will be solved in the new year, with the covers coming off the Porsche new GT car. This definitely got us thinking, and Porsche is just awesome. The pinnacle of engineering. Nothing like it, folks. As has been noticed before, this has also been known as the next generation Porsche 911 Turbo S spied again with a ducktail. Now, this is back in March. This same car was spied doing winter testing, but it had the different wheels on it. Back in the day when it was less than a day away from the Porsche revealing the 911 Turbo S, photographers continue to capture this same one, the Turbo S test vehicle, out and about. Now, these photos of the 911 Turbo S was actually done in the winter, but it was of the same car as we see here. The tail spoiler, the ducktail. It was a surprising sight then. Now, the test vehicle back then in March was seen, in the mud, dirty, ducktail spoiler, Turbo S test vehicles, they usually appear fixed. Then last year, the 911 Turbo S had the teaser photos that show the silhouette of the new car with an active rear wing sitting above the high mount light. There's no ducktail spoiler then, but now this one has this ducktail spoiler. It's not really clear what the ducktail 911 Turbo S is supposed to preview. It could be a new run limited edition sports classic model based on the Turbo S Porsche, based on the previous 911 Sport Classic, on the Carrera S, though the German automaker could also be appearing for a 911 Turbo RS. Now that is amazing. Could this be the new 911 Turbo RS? There are just too many questions and not enough answers for Porsche. Though we don't expect Porsche to sit down for a chat about this, you wonder what's happening here. Now, whatever Porsche plans for this ducktail 911 Turbo S, it shouldn't be low on power. Now, the new 911 Turbo S has a significant boost in power. You're talking about 640 horsepower. But this right here, it's just amazing. But it's good to see stuff out like this. It just gets the mind thinking and puts the industry on edge. Look at the side lights too, or the side reflectors. It's definitely nice. Now with Porsche having a 911 Turbo S, who knows? This being a ducktail, and the new one's coming out in January 2021. They're supposed to be unveiling. And I believe this is it. This is the unveiling. Perhaps this is the Turbo RS model. Definitely got the world thinking and keeping us on edge, folks. What it could be. With that beautiful ducktail wing. The 2021 Porsche 911 Turbo. Let's just call this baby the RS. Now Porsche has a new 911 Turbo on its hands. Based on the 992 generation, it's a sports car icon. Now right now, there's only the Turbo S, but a slightly tamer Turbo is supposed to be coming shortly, and we believe that this is it. This car is wider than ever and based on a newly developed flat six, which the Turbo S grade spits out 640 horsepower. This car is brilliant. Whether it's ducktail drive, or you're going to be pushing it to the limits on the track. Now these spy shots show what appear to be a prototype for the car. But if you look a bit closer, you'll notice this particular tester differs from the early ones. Due to its prominent ducktail spoiler, the spoiler even has its own reflector. Yeah, that's something different. Which the spoiler on the regular Porsche don't have this reflector that you see here. Or at effect, I think that's a stoplight. Now the first Porsche to sport the distinctive design was a legendary 1973 Carrera RS 2.7. And we haven't seen the automaker use it since 2010 with the 911 Sport Classic. Now while the Sport Classic was a limited edition, launched toward the end of the 997 generation, 911 Life, the development of the ducktail equipped at 911 this early into the 992 Life makes you wonder if Porsche is planning a new option or perhaps a new model for the latest turbo family. And everybody's thinking, and it's all going toward the Porsche 911 Turbo RS. Now beyond the spoiler, the prototype looks identical to the early tester scene for the new Turbo. There's a wider body compared to the body of the current Carrera model, and the new intakes in each of the rear fenders. is amazing in either side of the rear fascia, as you can see here. The brake rotors also fill up the wheel. Let's get a closer look at that too. And that's something different, which measures 20 inch up front and 21 inches in the rear. Now the Turbo S uses a center lock wheels, as you can see here, while the Turbo will likely feature a conventional 5-bolt pattern. Both of them seem to be tested here. As you see, the 5-bolt patterns right here. Now the power from the new turbo models basically all come from that a newly developed 3.8 liter twin turbocharged flat 6, matted to an 8-speed dual clutch transmission and an all-wheel drive system. Now peak power and a yet to be revealed turbo, which we saw the peak power in the turbo, which has been revealed, is actually 640 horsepower, which is out already, and boy oh boy is it kicking butt left and right. Now the new turbo models are in the dealers, but this being a Turbo RS is just something else. This is phenomenal. It's got us thinking, folks. This is A Automotive Reviews. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, subscribe, and just have an awesome day.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more interesting videos.